Chapter 103, Calamity Mourning Part 2. Tang Hueyuan let out an eerie smile as he released a massive killing aura. He secretly thought, Li Grandpa is going to get revenge for you. Thinking about Tang Li, Tang Hueyuan couldn't help but feel grief in his heart. The most outstanding fourth-generation disciple of the Tang family suddenly got killed by someone. After Tang Li died, Tang Hueyuan dug into the matter and found out what really happened. Aside from Wang Lin, anyone else who was involved was noted by Tang Hueyuan. The other cultivator sighed and said, Fellow cultivator Tang, according to my calculations, that person is at Jiu Ming Valley. Why do you want to find his family? Forget about this. All debts have a collector. If word gets out that you took your anger out on mortals, it won't look good. Tang Hueyuan's face sank as he stared at the other cultivator without a word. The cultivator bitterly smiled as he shook his head. He held a bronze mirror and formed a seal with his right hand. The bronze mirror immediately floated into the air and started to wander around as if it was looking for something. However, after flying back and forth for a long time, it wasn't able to find the direction. The cultivator frowned. He knew that this was happening because there were too few clues. He pointed at the mirror and it flew back into his hand. The cultivator bit his finger and quickly drew a symbol with his own blood on the mirror. He tossed the mirror out again. This time, it grew to several times its original size. The mirror was crystal clear and there were ripples on the surface. The mirror slanted and faced Tang Hueyuan. The cultivator said, with a serious expression, Don't be surprised, fellow cultivator Tang. My mirror needs to absorb the aura of the curse between you two. Traces of black gas came out of Tang Hueyuan's forehead and went into the mirror. The ripples on the mirror increased until the image of a large house was imprinted onto it. Tang Hueyuan's eyes were filled with killing intent. After he finished looking, he turned to look at the other cultivator. The cultivator hesitated and let out a sigh. He waved his right hand and the mirror flew to the ground. It immediately increased in size until it was as large as a person. The cultivator forced a smile and walked into the mirror. Tang Hueyuan let out a smile and followed behind. After the two entered, the mirror shrank until it disappeared without a trace. There was a small town 100 kilometers away from that spot. The Wang family could be considered a big family in these parts. It was said that the Wang family had younger generations who had joined cultivation sects. These kinds of news spread fast in these small areas. The Wang family started out as a carpenter family with various shops in the towns. From the eyes of an outsider, the Wang family was the largest family in the area. In the entire town, the most luxurious building had to be the Wang family's main house. On this day, the sun in the sky was like a giant furnace baking the earth. A guard of the Wang family was leaning against a pillar, fanning himself to get rid of the heat. His cotton robe was already soaked in the chest and back area. This damn weather is so hot. How are we supposed to live in this? The guard opened up his robe and fanned harder. At that moment, the door of a side building opened up and a servant girl came out with a bowl. She walked through the main household until she arrived at the door. She let out a laugh and said, Brother, drink this sour plum soup to relieve the heat. The guard turned around and saw the girl. He suddenly smiled and received the bowl. He drank it all in one go. He soon felt a cool sensation in his body and sighed. The masters really know how to enjoy themselves. This ice-cold sour plum soup is really delicious. Little sister, when you came out, you didn't let young Master Hao see you, right? The girl took the fan and helped fan the guard as she smiled and said, Brother, you can be at ease. The young master didn't see me. I used the moment when he wasn't looking to come out. Besides, young Master Hao is a very good person, so even if he saw me, there wouldn't be any problems. The guard enjoyed his little sister fanning him. He nodded and said, That is true. Young Master Hao is an immortal, how could he be bothered with us? Little sister, you have to show off more. If you catch young Master Hao's attention and become his concubine, then your brother here would have it easy. Just give me work as a house staff and I'd be happy. The girl's cheeks became red as she rolled her eyes at her brother and said, Brother, you've worked for the Wang family for longer than I have. I heard that there are a total of 3 young masters who were chosen by immortals, but I've been here for 3 years now and aside from young Master Hao, I only saw young Master Zhu once. Where is the third person? The guard proudly said, This I know. That third young master is named Wang Lin. He can't compare to younger Master Hao and them. I heard that he was as he was speaking, he suddenly closed his mouth and stared at the sky. He saw a rainbow-colored light quickly flying toward them and landing on the ground in the blink of an eye, revealing a youth in black. This youth's skin was as smooth as jade, and his face was very handsome. He had a sword on his back. But if one looked closely, they would see that this was no longer a youth. There were lines near the corners of his eyes. The arrogance from his youth was no longer there. Instead, there was a sense of age. Young Master Zhuo. The guard stammered and quickly bowed. The girl was startled by the way the young master landed. She quickly hid herself behind her brother. This person was Wang Zhuo. He frowned as he looked at the guard and said, Your name is Wang Tao, correct? The guard didn't think that Wang Zhuo would remember his name. His spirits immediately rose. He replied, Master, I am Wang Tao. Wang Zhuo hesitated for a bit and slowly said, Wang Tao, who told you about Wang Lin? What did they say? Wang Tao's heart trembled as he said, It was the housekeeper who said it. They said that he is too ashamed to return home and that he was a piece of trash that tried to fight with you for the right to become an immortal. Wang Zhuo pondered silently. After a long time, he let out a sigh. He muttered to himself as well as to Wang Tao. Trash, compared to him, I'm afraid I'm the real trash. Wang Tao was startled. He heard Wang Zhuo's words and became very confused. Just at that moment, a youth walked out from the house. This youth was very sturdy and handsome. He stood there, looking at Wang Zhuo and plainly said, Wang Zhuo, long time no see. Wang Zhuo bitterly smiled and said, Wang Hao, we haven't seen each other in 3 years. You've changed a lot. Wang Hao's face was filled with melancholy. They both became silent. The guard Wang Tao and his little sister stood on the side, not daring to breath. He knew that these two were the geniuses of the Wang family, high above them both. Wang Hao whispered, Any news about Wang Lin? Wang Zhuo revealed a complicated expression and said, After he left the Heng Yue sect, there has been no news. Wang Hao sighed and asked, What cultivation level are you at now? With your talent, you should have caught the eyes of many elders at the Xuan Dao sect. Wang Zhuo bitterly said, It's been hard to improve. I'm at the 11th layer of qi condensation, and that is only because I managed to win the competition last year by luck and was allowed to enter the back mountain. I wonder what cultivation level he is at now. He must at least be at the 15th layer already. Wang Hao pondered for a while and laughed at himself. I'm only at the 7th layer. It's only been a few years and the gap has already widened. Wang Tao was shocked. Although he didn't know what qi condensation or foundation establishment were, from the talk of the two young masters, he understood that this Wang Lin was not the trash that the housekeeper made him out to be. At that moment, the sky suddenly darkened and the heat in the air suddenly disappeared. A huge mirror quietly appeared in the sky. Ripples appeared on the mirror's surface as two people walked out. One of them had a very immortal-like aura, and the other was covered in an evil aura. A huge pressure descended from the sky. Wang Zhuo and Wang Hao's expressions changed greatly. They didn't even dare to breath. Wang Zhuo quickly clasped his hands and said, Junior is Xuan Dao Sect's Wang Zhuo. Greetings, both seniors. The fairy-like immortal was startled and asked, Xuan Dao Sect, do you have proof? Wang Zhuo's heart skipped a beat. He had a feeling that something bad was about to happen as he quickly took out his identity jade. The cultivator took the jade and looked at it. Then he looked at Wang Hao and asked, You are as well. Wang Hao was smart. He nodded without hesitation. Teng Hueyuan let out a snort as he waved his hand. With two bangs, the heads of the guard and his little sister exploded. Blood sprayed everywhere. 2 clouds of yellow gas floated up from the bodies. Teng Hueyuan took out a flag and collected the 2 clouds of gas. Shortly after, 2 faces filled with pain appeared on the flag. It was the guard and his sister. Teng Hueyuan grimly said, Today, no one will be left alive. He stepped past Wang Zhuo and Wang Hao into the main household. As for Wang Lin, he was quickly moving through Juming Valley. Behind him were 2 male cultivators and 1 female cultivator. They were filled with killing intent as they chased him. As he was running, his heart suddenly hurt, as if a stake was stuck through it. This pain wasn't from any injury, but a feeling in his heart. An unknown sense of panic and frustration appeared in his heart.